Blogtalk Radio.
Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Closer Encounters, the show where you, the listener, is also the guest. I am your host, Clarence Mitchell, coming to you live from somewhere in Minnesota. Closer Encounters is streaming live from Blogtalk Radio. We are also live on Facebook, YouTube, and Google Hangout. For all of our newest updates, check us out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Closer Encounters Radio. Don't forget to like, follow, and share. Would you like to be a special guest on Closer Encounters? Or do you know somebody that would like to be a special guest on Closer Encounters? Then just shoot us an email at closerencounters.info@gmail.com. That's closerencounters.info@gmail.com. Have you ever witnessed a UFO? Or seen something that you just cannot explain? Or maybe you've had your very own closer encounter. You believe in the ancient alien theory? We talk about this and much, much more. If you have a story, or maybe a question that you would like to get answered, give us a call. The number here is 347-989-1008. Again, the number 347-989-1008. Give us a call here at Closer Encounters. I'd love to talk to you. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Closer Encounters, the show where you, the listener, is also the guest. I know we're kind of getting a little bit, well, it's not really a late start, you might say, but a little hectic start here to get going. I'm hoping everybody can hear me okay on this. I was having a little bit of a problem starting to show up, and I'm not sure if it can be heard or not. If anybody is in the chat or on the live stream, if you could let me know how it sounds, I would appreciate it. It looks like Christina's with us. Hello, Christine. How are you, dear? She says, hello. Good to see you. All the way from Romania. That's awesome, ain't it? Yeah, I like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alrighty. You see, just IME says it sounds good. Thank you very much. Okay. Good deal. Yeah, I wasn't for sure. Like I said, I got on here and I was having some glitches with the microphone, and I wound up rebooting it, and so I think it's okay. So hopefully, thumbs up. Good deal. Alrighty. I know I have a few people that said that they were going to be here tonight, so I'm just going to kind of drag along a little bit here, and we'll give it a few minutes and see who pops in and see what's going on. Christina, to let you know real quick, I did check my email today, and so far I haven't seen anything back from the other guys from Cosmo Magazine, but, you know, we'll give it a few days. We'll see what happens. You never know. Hopefully that'll work out for us. That'd be really cool. Be a good deal. Before I forget, I wanted to write down a few things here, too, so remember what I was going to talk about here. Yeah. I'm sorry. My mind is just, sometimes it's, you know. Hello, Gail. I see Gail's popped in with us. Nice to see you, dear. How are you? I know my mind sometimes isn't in the right place, and I think of things, and if I don't jot it down real quick, then I know I'll forget about it, and it's definitely something I wanted to bring up, you know. So, a few things that there we go. Alrighty. I do apologize for last night, folks. Unfortunately, you know, I did say that I wanted to go outside with a telescope, and Flycatch says I have no audio in the Blogtalk site. Now, I wonder what that's all about. Yeah, we'll find out here in just a second. Let me see here if I can get Tim booted up. Hello, Tim. Are you with us, sir?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hear you.
You're not hearing me. Okay, that's what I was afraid of. See, I was having problems with this before. So let me see.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Okay. Yep, see, this is just what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to try. Ain't this something? It never fails. I'm going to try to reboot it. Cross your fingers. If I come back, we'll see. Always something with this outfit, I'm telling you. Always something. Always something. Let's try it again here. We still have him with us. Hello, Tim. You with us, sir? Oh, he dropped off. So I'm going to unhook the microphone here real quick. See, it's okay on the live stream because I'm actually using the cell phone, you know, as a live stream. And so that's okay. I'm going to plug this back in again. And for whatever reason... Hello, Mr. Tim. Are you with us, sir? Can you hear me? See, there is something really going on here. It's not right.
I cannot hear you.
You cannot hear me? Yes. Yes, I can. Okay. Well, what can I do here? Never fails. Okay, hang on here. Let me try something different. Yep. Always audio. Something, something, something.
Okay. I'm holding tight right here.
Yeah, good idea. Everybody else can hear you. It's just you can't hear me through my microphone for whatever reason. Seems to be a glitch in the system.
I have about a 20-second delay hear me, but I can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, come on now. Always something.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm telling you.
It's always something.
Always something. And I guarantee you it's not me. It's got to be them. All right, hang on here just a second. I'm going to have to do something different here. Okay, we got that one plugged in. Yeah, it's on their site. No doubt about it. Hello. Ha. Hello.
I'm still here. I'm still holding tight with you.
Ain't this some shit? Hello.
I'm watching on Facebook also, but there's a 20-minute or 20-second delay.
How about now? Anything? No. Okay, we got that?
Nope.
Nothing. Huh. Unbelievable. Okay, Tim, let me try, I'm going to try to log out. If worst thing comes to worst, we'll just do it live on the live feed, if you can hear me. So give me a few minutes, keep watching the live feed. If it doesn't come back, then we will, we'll do it on the live feed instead. So let's see what happens here.
Okay. All right. I got you.
Cool. Yeah, there's something glitchy going on here, and it's not with me, that's for sure. Everything's working fine here on this end. You know, this is what happens, people. You know, it's and then they wonder why you get upset with them when you call them and stuff, and you know, come to find out, you know, this is what it's all about. You know, And like I said, I had to redo everything here just a few days ago. I hardwired everything in. Oh, go back to my studio here. Now watch it not let me dial in. Alright, we're going to continue. I'm going to direct connect. Testing, 1, 2, testing, let's see. Hello.
Welcome to Blogtalk Radio.
Hello.
Please enter your host pin.
Hello.
When finished, press the pound key.
Check, check. Okay.
To start your show now, press 1.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
How about it, Tim? Can you hear me? Let's, Tim, why don't you try to redial and call back in again, okay? Let's try it that way and see what happens. Hello, check, check. Well, okay. I bet you it's going to work this time. But now I am on the other microphone. I may have to switch out mics here, which I think is what's going to have to happen. Oh, I see we have a couple other. Andre, he's with us here. Linnea Dawn, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Christopher, very good to see you. I'm really sorry, folks, that we're having this kind of issue, but we'll see what happens. Cross your fingers. We got Tim back. Let's see if we can get him. Mr. Collard, hello, sir.
Hey, we got it.
Ta-da! There we go. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. See, and it never fails, bro. I'm telling you, every episode we have, we got something, one thing or another. And I know it's not on my end, you know. It's just crazy.
Yep.
So, unbelievable.
Yep. Well, you know, it's strange. You know, we have all this technology at our fingertips, but yet there's some kind of a mad scientist or something in charge of it all. You know, and if you go a little bit out of the normal or off the mainstream regurgitation that we're given in our schools and our universities, we go off that. It causes some type of a fluctuation, and they'll mess with you, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
It's not a conspiracy theory or anything. It's something that's real. It's something that really goes on.
It's definitely real.
Well,
we're proof of that.
When you have these scientists that are in these special think labs that are doing this extraordinary work, and they end up dying off in mysterious circumstances.
Yeah.
Stand back and look at it and go, it could be just life happening. But on the other hand, I think there's much more to it because you have 22 scientists that have died in the last 7 years in, I'll say, questionable circumstances to their death.
Right.
They didn't die of so-called natural causes. They were young, vibrant people who were basically healthy. Well, I won't say young, but they were middle-aged.
Yeah, right.
Some in their 50s. But, they just die of all of a sudden. They've never had any history of heart attacks or anything in their family or themselves, and all of a sudden they just die of a heart attack.
Right, yep.
Boom.
Just like that.
Makes you wonder. Makes you think about it, And that's something that I've always been kind of cautious about, speaking out and opening up about the things that I've seen, things that I have witnessed, that I've seen firsthand. First of all, when I go to tell my friends and people around me, they all look at me like I'm, first of all, I've just lost my head, or that I,
right.
What kind of mushrooms was I eating? Was I eating mushrooms, or what was I doing? Was I smoking? Or
yeah, we all go through that. Yeah.
Was I taking? I wouldn't take anything.
Exactly. Hello, Norma. I see Norma Day's with us. Cool. Very nice.
But then I open up to him, and a lot of people want to, they laugh at me, or they'll say, something ridiculous.
Right.
And then you have other people who I've gotten the most amount of grief, and have been I've been sidelined pretty much a lot of the times by people who go to church, who call themselves churchy type people, because they take what, if I speak anything about what we talk about, anything about ancient civilizations having high technology, super high tech, more than what we have today.
Right.
They think that I'm speaking blasphemously, that I'm going against the word of God or whatever, and I'm like, wait a minute, hey, what? How can you come at me like this? When I'm not. That's the furthest thing away from my mind about that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's something around that line, I don't know. It causes a lot of grief and a lot of things. But like last night's show, Jeff was speaking about he himself has to be careful about what he says around certain people.
Right.
And how much he opens up about, But I am definitely super excited that we have so many people that are doing the research, doing the study, doing the groundwork to bring about these lost and forgot about technologies, and a lot of it has to do with Tesla's theories and his inventions and all that stuff, and what happened to all of his drawings and his writings and everything, after he died. They just disappeared. They're gone.
Yeah, money. It was all about money. That's what that was all about, mostly. I don't think it was so much. I don't think it was so much about stealing the technology part as it was about, keeping it for wealth. But there again, it both kind of goes together in a sense. But but yeah, it definitely makes you wonder. Because they wouldn't want free energy. Yeah. We know that, so we got that figured out. But yeah, damn shame. But as far as Jeff goes, we had him on our last show there a couple nights ago, and he brought up some pretty interesting stuff. At Point Doom and whatever, and of course the. Did you see the structures that I put the picture up on the Mars structure?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now
I've seen that.
you know, I see pictures like this a lot that come from the internet and different things like this, and you know, call me skeptical, call me whatever. Sometimes you really wonder if there are such things being covered up. You know, just like the moon landings and stuff. You know, people talk about, and there's things there on the moon that NASA tried to cover up, and blah blah blah. I don't know what to make of it sometimes. I really don't. I would like to believe that there was life on other planets close by, and because of certain circumstances, you know, they wound up coming here to the Earth, and we're like, you know, the last one, you know, that they have done anything with, which is a good possibility. And the rest of these planets out there, they either got too cold or too hot or whatever, you know, couldn't sustain life anymore, and they moved here, which would make more sense to me, you know, in a way. Or was this the only inhabitable planet at the time? You know, who really knows? But, you know, could it, you know?
I don't know. That's something I've always been a question about was, you know, everyone asks the question, why are we here? Where did we come from?
Right.
What's our true roots, and what's our true history of human human species? You know, because what we're being taught and what we're being told in schools and from the scientists and from the archaeologists and the anthropologists is all just crock.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense, actually.
No.
It really doesn't. It doesn't fit. So I started looking at this from a different perspective and coming at it from somebody that's not from here.
Right.
Looking at how we are.
Right.
Looking at how we deal with situations and how we deal with things and how we're under control.
Mm-hmm.
How our movements, our thoughts, our way of thinking is controlled, or to how we are being led to believe that everything they tell us is the truth, and it doesn't make any sense. And you know, I've said this time and time again. We have so much more that we have to learn, and much more we have to learn than what we know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're going in the right direction. We've got everything turning, and all the gears going in the right direction that way.
Right.
But you know, we have these threats coming at us from all these organizations and these people and
crazy.
and governments and everything, you know, that are lying to us, you know.
Right.
And you know, I went last night. I watched the presentation of Richard Hoagland's about what China's doing on the moon, and it was from like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
And but it gives a real good history of what NASA has seen and what NASA knows about, and they are not letting out. They're not divulging the truth of what was really found on the moon and what's really there.
Yeah, I dubbed NASA.
With all these, with more and more people are getting these Celestian telescopes, or those Celestian style telescopes.
Yep.
You know, not all that name brand, but along that same type.
Right.
And big barreled, high resolution optics.
Yeah.
And
that's
you
what
can
mine
look
is.
at on the moon, and all we can see is the side that faces us.
Right.
But there are people that I've talked to that on a new moon, during a new moon, when you can see the dark side of the moon, they have seen things on the moon that cannot be explained.
Right. Absolutely.
And that is the part that really excites me. Yeah, during now we're on the waning of the waxing end of the
Right.
we're going towards a full moon right now.
Yeah.
I think the full moon will be Tuesday or Wednesday.
It's going to be,
I
what,
think
November
Halloween.
4th, I think it is the full moon? Yeah, November 4th. So,
November 4th?
Yeah.
November 4th?
Yeah, it's going to be November 4th.
All right, so it won't be until the next lunar cycle.
Right.
But if you want to stay up late at night, now you can catch some oh my gosh, the last lunar cycle at the end of it, at the waning side of it, you know.
Yes.
My ex was up here visiting us, and we spent a lot of time out talking, and we were outside at 3:30 in the morning, and it was just absolutely one of the most picture-perfect nights.
Yes.
A perfect moment in time. We had a crescent moon, you know, on the end of, you know, one of the last nights of a moon. It was going towards a no moon or a new moon era of the time. But it was just, oh my gosh.
Really cool, huh? No, you gotta be kidding me. Here we go again. Unbelievable. This is just nuts.
Welcome to Blogtalk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
That's not right. That's not right.
The pin you entered does not match the pin you have.
Yes, I know. I messed up. Hang on just a second. I don't know why you guys got us doing this crap now instead of the way it used to be.
To start your show now, press 1.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Just unbelievable, man. I was taken aback by how much I have known and how much knowledge I have, and what can I do with this? You know, what can I do with all this knowledge that I had stored up? You know, I need to do something with it. You know,
Right.
You know, I don't want it to just go to waste. You know, so that's I need to. I think it's coming into full circle here. All the information is coming around, and everything's happening, and everything is coming into place where it's perfect time for me to do this and to write a book.
Oh, that'd be cool. Absolutely.
Publish all this stuff. You know?
Absolutely.
But it's incredible, though. I mean, I'm getting off track, but that morning, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you could see the dark side of the moon, and it was just unbelievable. I mean, it was absolutely one of those
moments
that just boggles the mind. I had no idea it was going to be like that, and I walked outside and looked up, and it literally, my heart stopped beating for a few seconds. I was just like, oh, wow.
Exactly. Yep.
But maybe you really want to have a good, powerful telescope to where you look at some of the, can't get all the real good resolution,
right?
But you can see quite a bit.
I just ordered some new eyepieces for mine, and I hope they're going to get here real soon, and get me a little bit closer. I'm using a couple of Barlows. I got a couple of Barlows coming, which are magnifiers and stuff. But yeah, we're going to see how this works out. Yeah, supposed to double and triple the zoom, so we'll see if they work or not. I don't know. I've never used one, so we'll find out. But yeah, but I so badly wanted to get out there last night, and we had such cloud cover. It was just like a blanket over half of the United States, I think, you know, and it was just terrible. And but tonight looks a little bit better. It is patchy out there, so you know, hopefully I can catch something in between. You know, we'll see what happens. But just so folks know that after the show, if you see me come back live again, that's because I'll be on the telescope, you know, doing whatever. So we'll see how it works.
Right.
You know, we're not sure. I've been chomping at the bit to get this going, you know, and and
Yeah.
and of course this month in November we're going to have a solar eclipse. You know, towards the middle or end of the month there somewhere. So I'd like to be able to catch that too. You know, hopefully we'll be able to do that. So that'd be pretty cool. But we'll see.
A solar eclipse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Well, a lunar eclipse. You know, it's a lunar eclipse. It's not a solar eclipse. This is with the moon, not the sun. So it's the opposite. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. my bad. But no, yeah, it's going to be a lunar eclipse will be coming up. So that'll be pretty cool.
Right.
But
That's cool.
yeah.
That's the blood moon.
Basically, yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's the blood moon.
The moon will turn just blood red.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
One time I was in, I think, Georgia. Another time I was in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's quite a sight, man. That's pretty cool deal, man.
Absolutely. So yeah, hopefully we'll catch that.
I've also during the lunar eclipses, I've talked to a few people. Now this has been years ago,
mm-hmm.
but they said I've been told that they have seen some strange anomalies.
Yes. Yeah.
Flying around the moon.
Yep.
During like a lunar eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you know, to if you really want to see something, you can even see it with a good pair of binoculars.
Binoculars, right? Absolutely.
A good high-powered, you know.
See, the only problem with me is it's going to be really, really super chilly that night. I know for a fact it's going to be cold here. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully I don't turn into an ice kebab or whatever you want to call it, a popsicle. But yeah, I'm going to put some heat tapes on it, and you know, we're gonna figure it out one way or the other. But you know, we're going to work with it. But it should be pretty cool.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, you get pretty cold up there, man, and you're up there in the.
Well, we already got snow, for goodness sakes. You know, I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? Of course, today it was what, 41 degrees, I think, and so it started melting down, and you know, icicles are now hanging everywhere, and it's like, wow, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Of course, the ground's still pretty warm. I mean, it hasn't been that cold yet for the ground to be frozen or anything like that, you know. So it's gonna, you know. Yeah. But we'll get into some deep freeze here soon enough. Yeah. Norma says, put your telephone number up so we can call in. I'm sorry, Norma. Yes. Let me, I'll do that here in the comment section on the page here. And if you'd like to call in, of course, the number is 347-989-1008. There we go. 989-1008. There you go. It showed up on the screen there. There you go. Cool. Before I forget, I had a few things here I wanted to bring up real quick. And Bryn Foster, who a lot of you may or may not know about, he does a lot over in Bolivia with elongated skulls and Pumapunku and Tiwanaku, Bolivia, and all them areas over there. He has, you know, his Inca tours that he does and stuff like that. He's made a few posts about it, and I made a comment that I would I wouldn't mention it tonight here on the show. But he's coming to the U.S. In June of 2018. He's going to be in L.A., and then Irvine, and then Sedona. And this is all going to be in June. So hopefully, and I don't know how it's going to work out for me, but I put in for my vacation for June, again for this year. And I wanted to go to Arizona last year. Of course, you know what happened. You know, lucky me, it was wound up in the hospital. But anyway, if this works out, I'm hoping I can catch up with him down there. I think that would be pretty awesome, you know. Maybe, just maybe, we can do a live show and get him on, you know, if I can get it worked out. I think that'd be really cool.
Wow, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Fox, he's an awesome guy. He does a lot of groundwork. He did, I don't know if you guys seen it or not, that one elongated skull, I know we talked about it. He actually went and took it and had DNA testing done out of his own pocket, just to prove a point. You know, so far, of course, the test results have not come back yet. We're still waiting on them. But this is the kind of guy he is, you know. And he's like, hey, if the science community won't do it, we will. And that's what he did. And you know, man, that's just cool. You know, I really think that's awesome. So, really think that's awesome. But great guy. I talked to him once before on a radio show that he did. I called in as a guest and got to talk to him. Awesome guy. Just awesome. So, yeah, hopefully.
Who's that?
Brent Foster. Forster?
Oh, Brian Foster?
Brian Forster, yeah.
Brian Forster?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hopefully I can catch up with him and
I
stuff.
thought that's who you were talking about. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He is awesome.
I belong to his website. I'm subscribed to him, and you know, whenever they do that South American tour, and I go through Bolivia and Peru,
Right.
and then they go down into the jungles of the Amazon. They've been finding stuff on the eastern side of the Andes, down in the Amazon basin. They've been coming across ruins that are down there that have been hidden in the jungles, and it's hard telling what's going to be found
Right.
in that area.
Yeah, exactly.
What they're going to uncover.
Yeah.
You know, like Jeff was talking about, they're using the LiDAR imaging now, and he was the one. You know, you've heard me talk before about using LiDAR imaging and looking at Angkor Wat.
Absolutely.
And Angkor Wat has been thought for the last 100 years or so to have just been one temple, one basic huge temple complex, big square complex.
Right.
Well, through LiDAR imaging, they found out that Angkor Wat, the temple, is just a small part of a huge network of structures that are hidden under the vegetation and under the ground clutter. Through the LiDAR imaging, they found out that Angkor Wat is a city that covers over 200 square miles.
I know, it's pretty freaking huge. No doubt about it.
That there in itself is enough to blow the lid off of our so-called known history.
Absolutely.
Or what we're being taught.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, when you look at Angkor Wat, and there's one show on the History Channel that takes apart temples. They took apart. I only caught one show of it.
America Unearthed or America Underground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. But they take apart Angkor Wat stone by stone and show how it was built.
Yes.
And when you look at that, I mean,
pretty amazing.
Take that in consideration right there. There is some high technology. They didn't just haphazardly throw these stones together and then carve it and then chisel them out with stone tools.
Exactly.
No way. There is no way that could have been done.
No.
I mean, absolutely, it's impossible to have done.
I totally agree.
And there was some high tech. Tools being used there to build that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's only one place. Then you have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of other locations around the world
Yes.
where this technology is being used, and
Thank God for advancements.
Of high tech mathematics, high tech art,
yeah.
not archaeology, but
well, you can
know
call
what
it.
I'm talking about.
Sure. Paleontology, archaeology, it all comes together. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, the architecture, not archaeology, architecture,
Right.
is off the hook. It's unbelievable. I mean, there's some serious planning and everything to get to do this stuff, you know.
Sure.
And we look at it at awe. A lot of people just look at it in awe and go, "Wow, they really did a good job building that." But in order to build something that perfect, in order to build something that prestigious, like the pyramids, we'll take the pyramids and the Mayan pyramids, for example.
Yep.
So we'll say Chichen Itza. I'll take the temples in Chichen Itza just as a prime example, and just use that one. And there's hundreds of other locations in the Yucatan
Right.
of other Mayan cities. That, literally hundreds. There's hundreds of cities and temples that are still buried under a ground cliff that haven't been excavated, haven't been cleared or anything. There's like I said, there's more. We have more to learn than what we know.
Oh, it's a true. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. We haven't even
We
scratched the
have
surface.
so much more to learn.
Yeah.
But
We haven't even
but
begun.
the technology, in order to build these things, in order to build these structures, what you have to do first is you have to prep the ground first. That ground has to be perfect. It has to be level. So they had to have some type of shooting ability, you know, using
Like a plumb bob or
tripod
something.
and a transit.
Right.
You know, they had some type of a transit set up, you know, to where they could do make the precise measurements to get the ground level just right. You know, you can't do that by hand or by eye.
eyesight. No.
You can try, you can get close to it by eye, but you'll never get to the point, because if you do it by eye, by the time you get up to 10 or 15 feet above the ground, you're going to start seeing the
Imperfections.
coming out.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
the flaws are going to show up.
Yep.
These
One
things
side's
are
going to
built-
sink, or it's going to bow in the middle. Or,
basically none of them I've seen have any flaw to them
No.
as far as their structure, how they were built.
no, and they're
Now,
still together. I
Some of
mean,
them,
you know, yeah, they're still holding today.
like Pumapunku was completely blown apart by
That-
some cataclysmic event took place and
Yeah.
blew it completely to smithereens.
Yeah, that was either deliberately destroyed by, you know, unsavory characters or something, you know what I'm saying, or it was hit by an asteroid, or, you know, something happened there. You know, I don't, you know, some people claim it may have been the Ice Age. I don't believe that, because if it was the Ice Age, a lot of them blocks would have been carried away. They wouldn't even
The
be
Ice
there.
Age, see, the
you
Ice
know.
Age didn't come down that south.
No.
That far south. The ice
I don't believe so.
The glaciers and stuff didn't form that.
No, that was definitely destroyed by
I don't
something
know.
or somebody.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Tim, looks like we have Norma is with us. Oh my goodness, let's bring her in here. I'm sorry, hon. Hello, Norma. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I don't know.
Good.
I didn't see you there, hon. I'm sorry. It was my fault. I had the other thing blocking the numbers off here. Oh my goodness. I don't know how long you were there.
You know, I'm confused. I got a different voice coming than what's on my phone.
Oh, yeah, there's the live feed is coming in.
Oh, are you watching the live feed also, Norma? That's what's happening. You're catching the background of the live feed. There we go. No.
Are you watching the live feed also, Norma?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, see, that's what's going on. You're catching that delay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll throw you
Okay,
off.
I'll just keep my phone.
What was that, dear?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, see, that's what's going on. You're catching that delay.
Okay, I'm just on the phone now.
Okay, there you go. That'll work.
That's what I had to do.
Yeah,
I had to turn my tablet off.
yeah.
Hey, is Gail in here and Tamara Clark?
They're in the live chat. Yes, they are. Gail and Tamara. Yes. Yeah.
Just wanted to say hi to them.
There you go. You hear that, Gail and Tamara? Norma says hello. Cool. That's cool. So how is Norma doing these days? I see you said you were a little sick or something the other day. Was it yesterday or day before?
Yeah, but I'm actually feeling better now. So.
Oh, that's great. Great to hear. Good deal. Good deal.
Good.
While I'm
deal.
thinking about it, also,
What are we talking about now?
well, actually, I'm going to bring something up here real quick. We were, I don't know if I can find it again. I just removed my pencil out of my pages. Oh, I'm so screwed up. I'm telling you. Oh, I know what it was. We were talking about earlier about when the planet was formed and different species and blah blah blah. Did you happen to catch the post or the write about it? I'm not sure if it was National Geographic or one of them science papers that posted this on Facebook. They did DNA on an octopus, and come to find out, this is pretty crazy. There's nothing anywhere that matches anything about an octopus that they have in any data bank whatsoever. And when they did the background thing, on how old they think this species is, you're not going to believe this. They're claiming that this species is 500 million years old. 500 million years.
Oh my
How in the
God!
hell? That would be the only species alive at that time. That would have been the first species ever on Earth. 500 million years.
Yeah.
Would it not?
Yeah.
Well, we have-
I mean, hello? Is it true? Is it not true? I don't get it, but this is coming right from them guys, If you could look that up,
There's just so much.
yeah, they're claiming.
There's just so much we don't know.
Well, this
You
is
know?
true, and and quite honestly, the octopus. When you really stop and think about an octopus, even squid and that, but octopus, they got to be the most brainiac thing that we've ever known here on Earth, as far as brain-wise. They have to be the smartest animal of all time, regardless. I mean, dolphins are smart, yeah. Certain fish are smart, parrots are smart, things like that. But you don't get as smart as an octopus. That is just way beyond intelligent. You know what I'm saying? That's alien intelligence. That's the way I look at it. Seriously, it's just crazy, But 500 million years. That's like the beginning of Earth. I mean, that's like, it just boggles my mind. I don't get that,
Well, 500 million years, that's a half a billion years old, and the Earth is said to be formed about 4.5 billion years ago.
True. Well, I'm just saying, though, it's got to be like the first life form.
Still forming, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Gail says, I can believe that, but proof would be great. Lee says they feel, they love. It's just, dolphins and elephants. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really smart species. Like I said, we got parrots that can talk and that can count. You know, it's been proven. They think for themselves, you know. Monkeys, apes, chimpanzees, gorillas, you know, on down the line. All sorts of aquatic animals that are just smart, smart, smart. But when it comes down to it, and you really have to compare, I don't think you can compare to the octopus when you really stop and think about it. They have emotion, just everything.
The octopus, now get this. Now, I try to wrap my head around this one time, man. It still boggles my mind. But you can take a 4.5 or 5 foot diameter octopus, can stuff itself inside of a 2-liter bottle.
Exactly, and through a hole bigger or no bigger than a quarter or a 50-cent piece. Yeah.
Because they've got no bone, no bone and no hard cartilage.
Right.
So they can.
They're a mollusk.
The only obstacle they have for getting into it is their eyeballs. Their eyes are the only thing they have to. But they can squeeze them down and force them through the opening of a 2-liter bottle.
Yeah.
And get inside there. A 4.5 foot diameter octopus can fit inside of a 2-liter bottle.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
I'm like, holy cow.
Gail says she's heard
intelligence. You talk about their intelligence, and then you see them how they are when they go to attack prey. And now they're all part of this the other species. You have octopus, you have cuttlefish, and squids.
Right, all mollusk.
And all 3 of them. And then the nautilus is kind of in there too, but a nautilus has a shell.
Right. Yeah.
But they're still related. They're still basically kind of related in a way, in a roundabout way.
Right.
But they can hypnotize their prey by changing their spots in their body. They can make them either big, small, change the color from red to purple to blue to black.
Yep.
And change the patterns. Change the patterns to where it makes them. It confuses the whatever they're going after. And then when they're going through their when they're mating and they're going into their getting ready to do their thing, they start flashing each other with these colors.
Right.
That are supposed to excite one another.
Right.
And when you see that happen, you cannot help but think of, but see the intelligence behind that.
Absolutely.
Is off the hook.
Yeah. But when they said 500 million years, I was just blown out of the water. I could not believe they did that, and I'm like, wow, Yeah, it was just crazy. But you're right. When it comes down to like changing color and that, now here's the thing that really kind of got to me about that. You had the octopus, and then of course you got like what's the one land animal there? The that lizard there. I just had it on my tongue. Oh my goodness, what's that little lizard that changes color?
Chameleon.
The chameleon, yeah. They all can do that. I mean, you set like a checkerboard down on the ground, and the octopus would actually, you will see it. It's almost invisible. It looks just like the checkerboard. Chameleon does the same thing, and then there's a couple other species too, that do that. And it makes you wonder if there isn't that part of the genome that is shared through certain ones. You know what I'm saying? With that kind of thing, but who knows? But yeah, that's just crazy stuff. It's just amazing. What's that, Norma?
I said it's a pretty amazing world we live in.
Isn't it though? Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it sure is. Now I don't know. Now I'm not up to date on octopus. I mean, I know about them. I know a little bit about them. Blah blah blah. I know some of the amazing things they do, but do they regrow tentacles if they get cut off or not? Are they like a frog or anything? Does anybody know? Can anybody answer me that?
I don't know for sure. I think they do.
I don't know. Does anybody know out there in the world?
Yeah. I've heard that they do. I like I said, like everybody's saying, I don't know for sure because I don't study that. You know, I don't study them, but I do remember hearing something about them able to grow back a tentacle if it happens to get cut off.
Yeah, I often thought that was the case, but I'm going to have to look that
I'm
up.
looking it up right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm looking it up right now. It says an octopus can regrow lost arms.
Yeah.
Unlike starfish, several octopus arms does not regrow another octopus. But the biological secret inside their arm regeneration feet do hold the promise of learning more about how we might better regenerate our own disease or lost tissue.
Huh.
Right.
Wow.
Or it can regrow lost arms.
Wow. That's amazing.
Wow. Yep.
Totally amazing.
See, I thought I read that somewhere before.
Yeah.
I knew
So
it.
there you go. That's the ultimate. That to me is the ultimate species of all. Think about it. You can change your color. You're the smartest thing on the planet. You can regrow limbs. And like Gail mentioned, Gail says that she heard that they don't die of old age. That something actually has to kill them. They're almost like forever a living species. I mean, there you go. Too bad we all weren't octopuses.
Wait a minute. Are you ready for this fact?
Okay.
Here we go. Does an octopus have brains in their tentacles? And it says, but while humans keep the brain in one spot, octopi do not. They only have about 500 million neurons, which is 1/20th of what our brains have. The brain of an octopus works like an internet of brains. Their main CPU is only the size of a walnut, but each of their 8 arms carry pockets of neurons too.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That is way cool.
Wow. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a perfect example to talk about an animal that with unbelievable amount of intelligence that it shows. We know of just having a small brain. We don't know how their actual brain works, but there's another one. Now, I'm just going off memory on this. I don't have any notebook on me. I'm not looking it up. This is just off of my
Off your head?
thinking.
Yeah. Off the top of your head?
But jellyfish. There's a certain species of jellyfish that they've been studying because they can take one and cut a section of it off,
Right.
and that small section becomes another jellyfish.
Right. Yes.
Wow.
And I forget what that one was called too.
The jellyfish that has the section cut off, it will grow back. It will grow that section that was cut off. It will grow that back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the other jellyfish will grow into another jellyfish. And they're trying to figure out, scientists are they're beating their heads against the wall right now trying to understand this because it does not have a brain. There's no brain in a jellyfish.
Right.
We don't what we can recognize as being a brain. Now, what they are finding out is that their whole body is basically a brain. And with that being said, that opens up a whole new basket of ways of thinking, and like you were talking about, helping us humans to possibly grow back a limb that's been lost, or been cut off, or either due to illness or because of a wreck or being in combat, being in war.
Well, we do have the ability for transplants. We do have the ability to grow, like, what is it, the Chinese or Japanese grew that ear on that guy's arm that time by using his skin and DNA. and they reattached his ear. Things like that, transplants, like I mentioned. Our own skin, it does eventually grow back. I mean, it's scarry, but it does rejuvenate to a certain degree. Unfortunately, it doesn't come back totally like we wish it would. But I wouldn't doubt, honestly, if you give us a few more 500,000 years, maybe maybe we'll be like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Oh, crap. I'm old. As fast as the thought goes in my head, it goes back.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Don't feel bad. I'm the same way too.
Yep. Short term. My short-term memory is really short. But like I said, if I don't write it down, forget it. Yeah.
You asked something about aliens, and that what you were talking about, but you just flew back out of my mind. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It'll come back to you, I'm sure. Sean Smith says, kind of like George Washington infecting soldiers with smallpox to keep it from spreading. How in the hell did he figure that out? Yeah, good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Real lucky guess, maybe. I don't know.
Supposedly he had some inside information.
Well, yeah,
that helped him.
Yeah, with the war and
because basically they were beat. They were up against the wall and they were fixing to fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they turned around and ended up winning the battle and won the war.
Yep.
From the talk about a comeback, a come from behind story. That's the ultimate one right there.
Well, it's a well-known fact that George Washington supposedly had ET encounters, and him and people like Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson and all them guys back in that day, as you recall, we talked about this a few times here on the show, that they did not want Christianity to be the religion here in the United States, because they believed
they did not.
They believed in other entities from other universes. And that's a well-known fact. You can look that up, folks. I'm not.
That's fact. That's fact.
I'm not bullshitting you. It wasn't until later on that Christianity kind of took over and did whatever. But when they formed the United States and they, did their independence and all that stuff, they did not want religion here. No, totally different deal.
No, the original settlers came over here to America to get away from the persecution from the churches.
That's true.
In England.
That's very true.
The Pilgrims are a perfect example of that. They were escaping systematic religious persecution of the Spanish Inquisition and all that stuff.
Right.
They left Europe to come to the New World to get away from that and to form a new and better union.
Yep.
What is it? How's the preamble go? We the people, for the United States of America, in order to
form a more perfect reunion, or
in order to build a more perfect union.
Right.
Yeah, that's part of the preamble. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead, Norma.
here's where my craziness comes in. You're talking about the settlers that they taught us in history.
Right.
But if you go way back to the Egyptian time, and I'm a firm believer in Atlantis, you can go way back to Atlantis escaping their area before the destruction, and those people spread out, supposedly,
right,
and started all the different areas. Like, you know, the Egyptian area, and some went to
Asia,
the Mayas,
right?
You know, I mean, you could take this back years and years and years, and even still, I think we go back far enough.
Right.
Right. I limit myself back 25 years ago. I was really getting into studying Tesla and Edgar Casey and all this stuff, you know, and then learning about Plato and his visions of Atlantis and all that stuff, you know, and they you know,
Socrates.
they all believed, they all said that there was that they sent out their noblemen throughout the world to go to other places to teach people, and some people even say, well, I've read that some people think, not all the archaeologists by far, but some of us say that though the god, one of the Egyptian gods, the god that had the head of an ibis,
right?
He was an Atlantean.
Right.
He was the one that brought knowledge and mathematics and all that to the Egyptians.
The sister of Isis or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
But he was supposedly he was an Atlantean.
Well,
and then Shiva, the god Shiva,
right.
And from the Hindus in India.
Yeah, India. Yeah.
He was supposedly maybe possibly could have been a Atlantean.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'll be honest with you. As far as the world goes, and as far as humans go, and I'm just going to give you my thought on this, and I'm going to shut up. But places like places like Pumapunku, and I'm not including Tiwanaku because that all came later, but Pumapunku, the Great Pyramid of Giza, not the other two, just the Great Pyramid of Giza, and possibly a couple others that are in the oceans that, you know, we know about but we haven't been able to really look at, and possibly maybe a few of the Mayan structures and stuff like that go so far back, and I mean way back, that, you know, you'll never know the very beginning of those places and those people. I honestly believe they are way beyond the Sumerian culture, and everything has been
I agree.
Yeah, I honestly think that these things have been redone over and over and over again. We're probably fourth, fifth, maybe even sixth human generation. You know, I don't say generation, but you know, established genome. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, I honestly believe that.
I do.
You know, and I think, and I also think.
I always thought that human history would only go back as far as maybe 30 or 40,000 years.
No.
And that was about it.
No.
Now, I've gone past 100,000 years.
Absolutely.
200,000 years.
I'm saying millions. I'm saying millions.
A million.
Yeah.
A 1.5 million.
Yeah, I'm saying millions.
You know.
And here's the thing too to think about, Tim.
My way of thinking has changed.
Yeah, and here's the thing I'm thinking too, that when those life forms ended, okay, let's go back, let's say 5 million years ago, along with the octopus, okay, let's say we had an intelligent species back then. When they left or were destroyed or condemned or whatever happened to them, because we'll probably never know. Oh, come on, not now. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Really? Let me try this again. Hang on, folks. Don't leave me.
to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter.
To start your show now, press 1.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Who think that
Okay.
there's people
I'm back.
today, right now, who swear and be damned that the Earth is flat.
Sorry about that. I got dropped.
You're right.
Yeah. But anyway, my point was I was going to make was that these people, whether it be 5 million years ago or whatever, were so intelligent at that time, you know, that we lost that particular technology and we basically had to start all over again from scratch, you know.
Right.
And I think that happened. I think that's happened more times than you'll ever imagine. I really do. Until us, you know.
Well,
and this is why we have out of place artifacts, footprints with dinosaurs. I mean, honestly, that's why I think all this stuff comes out. I think if you date those things, you know, especially the footprints with dinosaurs, you know, 65 million years ago, absolutely. I honestly believe that because I think there was a species of human that lived then. I don't care what they're going to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, it had to be. No doubt about it. So we're probably 4th, 5th, 6th, maybe even 20th genome for all we know, you know. That's all.
Regeneration of technology.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
Here we are in society today. We sit in our greatness, and everybody thinks that we're at the pinnacle of our intelligence, of human intelligence on this planet. And I can't help but it infuriates me because these people they definitely have not looked beyond what they are being told. That,
Exactly.
You know, right.
I mean, yeah.
And the giants, like Tammy said, yeah, especially the giants.
Petra,
you
as
know.
an example. The city in Jordan is called Petra.
Mm-hmm.
That was these buildings that were built that were carved out of solid stone walls, solid stone cliffs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not one chisel mark on in the whole complex.
No.
And it's very. I can't remember how many structures there are total, but it's
tons of them.
20 or 30 structures that are there.
Well,
and then they're carved out. You know, they have these chambers and these rooms are opened up. That the acoustic effect on the inside is 1-to-1 acoustics. The perfect acoustics. You couldn't just get that randomly.
Right.
You could not get that type of something inside of a room like that, inside of a stone structure.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've ever been inside of a cave, a lot of caves have a lot of echo effects in them.
Sure they do.
You know?
Yeah.
But you can go in there and you can talk out loud, and you can hear it like through a reverb going through an amplifier.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no echoing effect.
Right.
Not echoing like you think would be there. That's, to me, they didn't just do that by chance.
No,
they didn't come across that just by chance. That was done purposely that way.
I definitely agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
Same thing with the pyramids. The pyramids were built specifically to do a job.
Yeah.
And now we're finding out through LiDAR imaging, through LiDAR penetrating radar that we have now.
Right.
They're finding out that the Great Pyramid and all three of the other ones, to be honest with you, all of them on the Giza Plain, all three have sandstone outside covering, and then 2 different types of granite on the inside.
Yeah.
And now that granite is used because number one, the granite is used because it can handle high temperatures.
Right.
It can handle the fluctuation. It will not be eroded or be changed by high frequencies.
Right.
So they had some type of, they had something going on there. They had either microwave frequencies going on or electrical frequency
something
being
sonar, radar. Yeah.
Well, for all those 3 things to be there, and then the way they're built the way they're not just haphazardly, not just sections that are marked out.
Right.
There are places where the structure it's built one way. Okay, they started off building it one way, and then they build it another way so that it would retain the ability to harness and generate microwave energies.
Yep, I agree.
You got it.
I agree.
The
Yep.
type of crystal, the type of granite used, the pink granite that they use, is full of crystal. It's full-
Exactly. And crystal was what powered, supposedly, Atlantis.
Right.
Very well could be.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so much there that we're only scratching.
Oh,
Just
we're not even scratching. We're just a nick. we're just nicking it.
Of
Absolutely.
relearning this, and understanding what was going on and how it was done. But then I have pictures on my tablet that I gathered from all over the world. But I got this one picture. I'll sit there and watch it and just study it for hours. And it's an aerial photograph from about 1,500, 2,000 feet above the Giza Plain, looking down
Right.
on the pyramids.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the structures all the other structures, the way you can see right where the Sphinx is at. You can see the enclosure where the Sphinx is. You can see how the pyramids were built, how they're shaped, and how they're set according to each other. And they do resemble the three stars in the belt of Orion.
Yes.
That I will say, they do resemble that.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know what that means. I'm not really going to go into that because that's a whole new deal. That's another deal there,
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, it's just like the Sphinx.
around the
You know-
outside perimeter, all these little structures that looks just like a electrical PC board.
Yeah.
It looks like
Yeah.
it looks like electronic PC board. It looks
Yep.
like
always said that.
Yeah.
And do you know they're finding pyramids all over the globe?
Absolutely.
It's not just the ones that we know of. They're finding more
Yeah.
and more all the time.
Yep. And
Yeah.
they follow
Yeah.
that line. You know, they
something. This is something that I've been studying is North American structures, and then I go into I happen to be on this rant right now where I've been watching Star Wars movies,
Sure.
and the Star Wars Rogue One, the Star Wars movie Rogue One, where the Battlestar fires for the first time down on the city of Jeddah and destroys that city from the Death Star
Mm-hmm.
with their laser beam, with their earth killing beam. I've been fascinated by that and wondering if that wasn't done here over the area of North America or in some
That would not surprise me a bit.
distant past.
Yeah.
Some type of technology was used like that, and if that wouldn't have been what could have formed the crater in Winslow, Arizona. Look at that, and then I look at it and I looked at it again, and I went, "Holy cow! Oh my gosh!" I mean,
Yep.
it just started opening up things. It's just like opening up a book and reading chapter after chapter. It just starts unfolding in front of my eyes,
Right.
and I'm going, "Wow!" When I get that excited about something, I can't. It's hard for me to talk about it because I
Yeah.
get ahead of myself with what I'm trying to say. But
Absolutely.
it is something that I'm like, holy cow!
Mm-hmm.
Is that and the possibility? And then I look around. We're looking at all these structures, these old, ancient, very ancient, human-built, hand-built structures in New Hampshire and Vermont
Yes.
and Massachusetts
Yep.
and in the New England area, and then all the way down the eastern seaboard, all the way down and into Georgia.
Yes.
They have found there is a pyramid that's in Georgia that the Bureau of Land Management have got armed guards around there keeping people from getting in that area.
Yep.
You cannot walk into that part of the woods.
We were just talking about that today, as a matter of fact.
And they will turn you away and keep you from going in it because there's a pyramid. There is a pyramid in Georgia, people. There's a pyramid. There's actual fact-based that there's a Mayan pyramid that is in Georgia right now.
Matter of fact, if you're on the AA, if you're in the Ancient Aliens group, a guy posted about that particular thing right there that we're talking about right now. He posted it today and talks about him moving there and whatever.
Wow.
Hey, yeah, ain't that something? Pretty cool you brought that up. Yep. Yeah. True story. Go ahead, Norma. I'm sorry, dear.
There's too much evidence showing that there was high tech society here in North America long before the Native Americans lived here.
Yeah.
That there was something else that was here, and then I look at then I do the comparison of a lot of American Indian their heritage and their lineage, and
yes, I agree.
And you look at them, you look at the old pictures of them, and they don't look like they're from China. Or They don't look like they're Eskimos. They don't look like they're
no.
They don't look Indian at all.
No.
They look European.
Absolutely not.
Because
I think
they're tan.
But I do want to say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm retired now, but when I was working, for a big part of my life, I was a sales rep, and I used to have to travel everywhere.
Sure.
And I can't, for the life of me, remember where I was, but I know this was a good 10 or 15 years ago. And I was driving in a particular area, and it was like a real rural area, and I came across this mountain, and I was driving around the bottom of it, and I looked up, and it was all covered with trees, and I thought, Jesus, that's a pyramid. And I looked at myself, and I thought, nah. And I'm like, yeah. And I wish I remembered where I was.
Right.
And I live in Pennsylvania.
Right.
But the thought, and it was clear back then, I thought, I wonder if there are these things buried all around. Now, they're supposed to be in China and buried. And I honestly think, thanks to Google Earth, or however you say it,
right.
we can kind of find these things. Like,
yes.
They're all over the world. I think it's not just what we were taught or what we know.
No, you're right.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Well, I'll tell you what. Norma. I've been living in northwest Arkansas, and I live in northeast Oklahoma. I've been living in this area for almost 20 years, and I drove a truck. For 15 of those years, and there's one area down outside, just west.
90 seconds.
If you go west on 40 Highway 40, Interstate 49, it used to be Interstate 540, but you just keep going on that, it turns into Highway 12, and then it turns into Highway 9. But you stay on that, and you just go west.
Hey, Jody.
To this area, to the town called Spiral, and before you get to Spiral, about 6-7 miles east of Spiral, you can see the Spiral Mounds. You can see a couple of them. And there's
60
one Spiral
seconds.
mound that is a pyramid. It's a pyramid that has the top cut off.
All right.
It's a pyramid that doesn't have a top on it. And I looked at it, and I've studied it from different areas, and I've talked to people who live up there, and they've all told me that mound is square or rectangle. It's got 90-degree turns on it. It's actually, they've gone, a couple of these guys have gone hunting up in that area, and they've walked around that particular mound that I'm talking about, and it's pretty good size. It's a pretty good sized structure, but it's covered up with foliage and everything. It looks like it's been covered up with rubble.
Right.
So they just call it a mound. There has not one archaeological dig. There has not been any, because you can't. The Bureau of Indian Affairs now won't let you go into these areas and do any archaeological digs around these these ancient, supposedly ancient Indian structures.
All right.
Well, I don't think they're Indian structures at all. I think that they were there long before the North American Indians ever lived there.
Mm-hmm.
That there
I
were
agree.
buildings that were there that are now covered up, or they could possibly be buildings that have crumbled into just piles of unrecognizable rubble now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you take our biggest, you take our biggest structure, our biggest buildings we have in let's say New York City, all those buildings. If all the human beings were to leave the face of the earth, what would be left of, what would be recognizable of New York City in 5,000 years?
Trees and grass. That'd be it.
Would there would not be one
Nope.
recognizable site.
Sure
there would
wouldn't.
not be one. There'd be no building standing.
It'd be like
There would
Planet of
be
the
just
Apes.
piles of rubble. All that there would be is piles of rubble.
Yeah.
And what we're finding around around all these Indian mounds, they're built out of rubble.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, that's a lot of labor-intensive work.
Sure.
Basically, that's slave labor to build these mounds. And the history of the Indians have never once ever talked about slave labor.
No.
There's no slave labor at all in any history at all of any Indian tribe in North America. So that tells you right there. Okay. So what makes sense to me is that these are not mounds that were built. These are piles of rubble that's left over from buildings that were what they once were. And now with us not being able to go in there because they're set aside as national landmarks,
Something, huh?
we won't know anything until we get access in there to do some excavating and do
Ruth
some
after
digging
people
around there,
show.
see what we can find,
That's funny.
what we can come up with.
Yeah.
And I think I not only think, I know we're going to find something there.
Oh, absolutely.
But the powers that be
Yeah.
are going to do their best to keep us from getting in there because
Yep.
that's no way.
Yep. It won't be until the younger generation
agree.
takes over. You know, it won't be until the younger generation takes over, and that's when they're going to start making the changes on that. But yeah.
Yep.
Folks, I hate to say this, but we are out of time already. Of course, we screwballed around too much trying to get the damn thing up and running. But I'm gonna be back here tomorrow night. We got a few more days off before I have to go back to work, so we can pick this back up again tomorrow night, right where we left off here. So please, everybody, come back and you know.
Hey, can you send me a reminder?
Absolutely, I would do that personally. Absolutely.
On there.
Okay. Absolutely, I can do that. Unfortunately, Facebook don't let me invite my friends like they used to, so I have to kind of go through and, you know, just tell everybody please share and do whatever. But I will send you a regular invite, Norma. So I'll do that.
You send me an invite, and I will tag a bunch of people.
Fantastic. We'll do that. So cool.
Perfect.
Alrighty. Well, okay.
Cool.
So we'll go ahead and we'll.
Talking to you guys.
Yes,
Have a
you
good
too.
night.
You too. Thank you very much.
All right. Good night, dear.
Alrighty.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, Clarence.
Good night, Tim. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, everybody. Keep an eye out here in a little bit. I'm going to go out and see what the skies look like, and maybe we'll get the telescope out and get it set up, and hopefully we'll do another live stream. So just kind of keep checking back and forth. Of course, you'll know if I go live because it'll pop up, and I'll send a big message or whatever. So we'll see what happens. We'll play it by ear. But in the meantime, everybody have a great evening, and thank you all, Tammy, Gail, all of you that are on there, Christina, everybody. Thank you very much for being on the live feed and being with you. Much love to you all. Yes, thank you. In the meantime, keep your eyes to the skies. At least that's what we're going to try to do tonight, right? All right. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Good evening.
I want to thank you all for listening to Closer Encounters. Please remember to like, follow, and share. And until we meet again, keep your eyes to the skies. Thank you.